Hello everyone. Today we are discussing about what is report and format and types of report. First of all, we know that what is report. A report is an oral presentation or a written statement that has the purpose of communicating research findings, recommendations for course of action, other findings to management or other specific audiences. Simply, a research report is a presentation of the research finding in the form of a report, and it is a necessary part of the research processes. Reporting is the end product of the research work. The report helps to know the quality of the work done by the researcher. The report is the manifestation of the researcher's skill and presentation. The report also helps the researcher to communicate what the problem, the method, facts and conclusion and their interrelationship. And it also helps the researcher to evaluate the successes of his research effort, and the report reveals the researchability of the researcher. Then we are moving to the next topic, types of report. The types of report to be prepared depends upon the background of the potential audience, their total research situation and their technical background and knowledge. A report directed to a fellow researcher will be different from a report addressed to administrator or executives. In general, there are three types or reader of the reporter. First one is general public, second one is the administrator or executive and the project sponsor, third the fellow researcher or the technical expert. Then the report can be classified as three reports: oral report, written report and technical report. First one is oral report. The reporting may be done to an administrator either orally or in written form. Oral report has an important place in USA while reporting to government or industries, but it is not developed in India. The oral report is helpful to communicate continuously to fellow workers. It is also effective when policy recommendations are important. Then second one is the written report. The written report may be three types. First one is popular report. Second one is a report submitted to an administrator. Third one is technical report. The popular report is a report prepared for a layman. It is prepared to those persons who are not interested in technical aspects of the study. It is intended to explain the board facts, findings, and recommendations. It is prepared in a lucid and simple style. Then the second one is report submitted to an administrator. This report is prepared for the use of administrator or executive or for fellow researcher. It is intended for taking decision. The administrator require only the essence of the research study, so that in this type of research report, some technical details and supporting data are included. It will follow the summary and important recommendations of the study. Then the third one is technical report. Technical report is a report prepared for specialists who are interested in understanding the technical aspects of research methodology and research findings. They are interested in hypothesis for the study, logical and statistical details that led to the conclusions. The report is prepared in technical languages. These reports also include the complicated technical appendices on the methodology and complete bibliographies. It will be helpful the reader to refer them further. The technical report may be a detailed report or an article published in a journal or a full technical report. It should contain the following four aspects. First one is the nature of the problem. The second one is the research methodology adopted for the study. Third one is analysis of data and the results. Fourth one is the inference drawn from the results. All the above facts have to be presented logically and sequentially with simplicity, intelligibility and brevity. Then we are going to the next topic, format of the report or content of the report. The research report may be presented either in the form of dissertation or in the form of thesis. In all these cases, there are a number of format specializations to be followed by the research report writer. These specifications allows the writer to include his own contribution within a conventional framework which is both chronological and reasonable. The mechanical format or content of a research report consists of three parts. First one is the preliminaries, the second one is the text, third one is the reference materials. In the preliminaries, it includes the following, which is written in a sequential order: title page, letter of transmittal, acknowledgement, letter of authentication, table of contents, list of tables, list of figures or illustrations. Then the second one is the text. Under the text, abstract, introduction, research procedure, results, discussion, conclusion, and summary. In the third, the reference material. Under that, bibliography, appendix, indexed. Under the preliminaries, the first one is the title page. The title should reflect the content and emphasis of the project described in the format. It should be a short and possible include essential keywords. It should show the following details: title of the research report, name of the researcher, name of the person to whom the research report was prepared. Then the second one is a letter of transmitter. It included in the final report. Its purpose is to release the report to the recipient. It may include the purpose of conducting study by the researcher, a brief resume of the background, scope and general nature of the research upon which the report is being based, and acknowledgements. Then the third one is acknowledgement. The acknowledgement recognizes the persons to whom the writer is indebted for the guidance and assistance during the study, credit materials for providing funds to implement the study, or the use of personal facilities and other resources. Then the fourth one is letter of authorization. This is a letter given to the researcher authorizing him to do the investigation on a particular business problem. It also indicates what resources are available for research. In majority of cases, only a reference is made about the letter of authorization in the letter of transmittal. Then the fifth one is table of contents. The table of content is prepared to show an analytical view of the material included in the study together with the sequence of presentations. It includes the major divisions of the thesis, such as introduction, chapter with their subsections, bibliography, appendix. The sixth one is list of tables. After the preparation of the table of contents, the writer is required to prepare a list of tables. The list of tables is to be centered on a separate page. A specimen of the list of tables is given below. The list of tables, page number. For example, a small scale interest in Kerala, page number 12, etc. There are different number of numbers are to be assigned to each tables. Then we are going to seventh one, list of figures. The list of figures appears in the same form as the list of tables. Then we are going to the second part, the text. The text is the most important part of his thesis. In this section, the researcher presents his arguments. He should devote full attention for a careful organization and presentation of his findings or general arguments. Text. In this section, the researcher presents his arguments. He should devote full attention for a careful organization and presentation of his findings or general argument. This section explains everything related to the study. It consists of abstract, introduction, research procedure, results, discussions, conclusion, and summary. The first one is abstract. The abstract should, in the briefest terms possible, describe the topic, the scope, the principal findings, and the conclusion. It should be written last to reflect accurately the content of the report. The length of the abstract varies but seldom exceeds 200 words. It is given at the beginning of the report. The primary objective of an abstract is to communicate to the reader and the essence of the paper. The reader will then be judge of whether to read the full report or not. If the report is to appear in the primary literature, the abstract would serve as a key source of indexing terms and the keywords to be used in the information retrieval. Then the second one is introduction. The body of the report consists of bulk of the report. It begins with an introduction. The nature of the problem and why it is of interest should be conveyed in the opening paragraph. This section should describe clearly but briefly the background information on the problem, what has been done before, and the objectives of the current project. A clear relationship between the current project and the scope and limitations of earlier work should be made so that the reason for the project and the scope and the approach used will be understood. Then the third one is research procedure. The second part of the body explains the research procedure. The methodology describes what was actually done. The reader is interested to know how the study was carried out. That means he wants to know the basic design, experimental manipulations, methods of data collection, asked questions, experience of interviewers, etc. The researcher should also give the accounts of the sample used. The researcher also gives information about the statistical tools used for the study. And the fourth one is results. In this section, relevant data, observation, and findings are summarized. Tabulation of the data, equations, charts, and figures can be used effectively to present results clearly and consciously. Schemes to show reactions sequence may be used here or elsewhere in the report. Then the fifth one is discussion. The results and discussion sections are interrelated. They can be often be combined as one section. Then the sixth one is conclusion and summary. A separate section outlining the main conclusions of the project is appropriate if conclusions have not already been stated in the discussion section. Directions for future work are also suitably expressed here. The writer may also list out the unanswered questions which require further research. A lengthy report or one in which the findings are complex usually benefits from a paragraph summarizing the main feature of the report, the objectives, the findings, and the conclusions. Then the third part of the report is references. Literature references should be collated at the end of the report. All references should be checked against the original literature. That's all about today's session. Thank you.